Good morning students. Good morning everyone. In this video tutorial, we are going to discuss some of the PYQs of NEET from Respiration. Respiration NEET PYQs. First question is, the complex 2 of the mitochondrial electron transport chain is also known as. Complex 2 of the mitochondrial electron transport chain. Option A, cytochrome C oxidase. Option B, NADH dehydrogenase. Option C, cytochrome BC. Option D, succinate dehydrogenase. In this, the correct option is option D, succinate dehydrogenase. Option D is correct answer. Cytochrome C oxidase, NADH dehydrogenase is a complex 1. Cytochrome BC is a complex 3. Cytochrome C oxidase is a complex 4. Succinate dehydrogenase is complex 2. So complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase. And next question is, identify the step in tricarboxylic acid cycle which does not involve oxidation of substrate. In these 4 options, we have to identify that reaction that does not involve the oxidation of substrate. Option A, malic acid to oxaloacetic acid. Option B, succinic acid to malic acid. Option C, succinyl coMGMA to succinic acid. Option D, isocitrate to alpha ketoglutaric acid. Here, option A, malic acid to oxaloacetic acid. From malic acid to oxaloacetic acid, there is a formation of NADH. So, here oxidation occurs. From succinic acid to malic acid, here FADH2 is formed. FADH2 is formed. Here also oxidation occurs. From succinyl coMGMA to succinic acid. Here, we'll discuss this later. From isocitrate to alpha ketoglutaric acid, here also NADH forms. Here also oxidation occurs. From these 3 reactions, oxidation occurs. From according to option C, succinyl coMGMA to succinic acid, it forms GTP molecule. Here substrate level phosphorylation occurs, SLP. Substrate level phosphorylation occurs, not oxidation. So option C is correct. Next question. Cytochromes are found in option A, cristae of mitochondria. Option B, lysosomes. C, matrix of mitochondria. D, outer wall of mitochondria. That is cristae of mitochondria. Option A is correct because electron transport chain occurs in inner mitochondrial membrane, that is cristae of mitochondria, where cytochromes are present. Next question. Match the following. Citric acid cycle. Where does this takes place? Citric acid cycle takes place in mitochondrial matrix. Option 2, A2. Here A2, there is only one option. So absolutely B will be correct answer. Glycolysis occurs in cytoplasm. Electron transport system occurs in inner mitochondrial membrane, C4, B1, C4, and last option, proton gradient occurs in intermembrane space of mitochondria, 3, and third one, D is third one. Option B is correct. And next question. In glycolysis, the conversion of 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid to 3-phosphoglyceric acid, it is which type of process? Option A, Option A, energy yielding process. Option B, energy utilizing process. Option C, phosphorylation process. Option D, isomerization process. From 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid to 3-phosphoglyceric acid, there is a formation of ATP. So it is a energy yielding process. Option A is correct. It is not a energy utilizing process. It is not a phosphorylation process. It is not a isomerization process. There is a formation of ATP. Formation of ATP from 1,3-bisphosphoglyceric acid to 3-phosphoglyceric acid. Option A is correct. Which of the following statements are correct about respiration? Energy of oxidation reduction is utilized for phosphorylation. Oxygen act as a final hydrogen acceptor. Yes, it is a final hydrogen acceptor and electron acceptor, oxygen, in respiration. The photooxidative energy is utilized for production of proton gradient required for phosphorylation. Here in respiration, there is no utilization of photooxidative energy. Photooxidative energy is formed in photosynthesis, not in respiration. So it is a wrong answer. The role of oxygen is limited to the terminal stage of respiration process. It is correct one. Role of oxygen is always limited to terminal stage. At the terminal stage, oxygen involves in respiration by accepting electrons. Last one, E. Protons across the outer membrane of mitochondria through the channel formed by an integral membrane protein complex. It is not from outer membrane, it is from inner membrane. So option E is also wrong. Energy of oxidation reduction are utilized in phosphorylation. It is the correct one. So A is correct, B is correct, and D is correct. And so option B is correct. Next, match the following. Electron transport system. Complex 1. What is complex 1? Complex 1 is NADH dehydrogenase. A is 1. Here from A, two options are there. A is 1. Eliminate these through. Complex 2 is succinate dehydrogenase, B4. So option B is correct. B4. Let's see another. Complex 3 is cytochrome BC. Complex 4 is cytochrome C oxidase. C is 2 and D is 3. So option B is correct. Which of the following are correct about cellular respiration? These are about cellular respiration. Option A, cellular respiration is breaking off CC bonds of a complex organic molecule by oxidation. Absolutely correct. By breaking the bonds of the CC bonds, we get the energy. By breaking the glucose-like molecules, we get the energy. So, option B, the entire cellular respiration takes place in mitochondria. It is not the correct one. One part of the respiration takes place in cytoplasm, that is glycolysis. Glycolysis takes place in cytoplasm, and remaining R takes place in mitochondria. Fermentation takes place under anaerobic conditions in germinating seeds. This is correct one. The fate of pyruvate formed during glycolysis depends on the type of organism also. This is also correct one. Water is formed during respiration as a result of oxygen accepting electrons and getting reduced. So water is formed by oxygen accepting electron. oxygen accepting electrons and protons and form water. This is also correct one. So option A, C, D, E are correct. Option A is correct. Next one. Which of the following combination is required for chemiosmosis? What are the requirement of the chemiosmosis? We require membrane, proton pump, proton gradient, NADP synthase. We does not require NADP synthase here. So it is wrong one. Proton pump, electron gradient. Electron gradient is not required. Proton pump, electron gradient, NADP synthase. It is not required. We require membrane, proton pump, proton gradient and ATP synthesis. This is the correct one. Next question. Match the following. Oxidative decarboxylation, where this process occurs. Oxidative decarboxylation, remember I have explained, oxidative decarboxylation occurs in linked reaction, that is pyruvate dehydrogenase. Pyruvate dehydrogenase. A2. Two options are there. Glycolysis, another name of glycolysis is EMP pathway, Embeden, Meyerhoff and Paranas pathway. From option B, 4. Oxidative phosphorylation. Oxidative phosphorylation occurs in C3. Option D, tricarboxylic acid, that is in tricarboxylic acid. Tricarboxylic acid citric synthase, D1. So option D is correct. Next question. How many times does decarboxylation occurs during each TCA cycle? Each TCA cycle, how many decarboxylation occurs? Acetyl-CoA contains 2 carbons. These 2 carbons undergoes decarboxylation reaction. So there are 2 decarboxylation reactions in TCA cycle to completely utilize this acetyl-CoA. So twice decarboxylation occurs. Fatty acids are connected with respiratory pathway through. How fatty acids are connected to respiratory system? After metabolism of fatty acid, we get acetyl-coenzyme-A. So this acetyl-coenzyme-A connects the respiratory system to fatty acid. There is no involvement of alpha-ketoglutarate, dihydroxyacetone phosphate, pyruvic acid. These are all involved in glycolysis and Krebs cycle. Acetyl-coenzyme-A is the only link between fatty acids and respiratory system. So option A is correct. The number of times, again this question is repeated, number of times decarboxylation of isocitrate occurs during the single TCA cycle. From isocitrate also there are 2 decarboxylation reactions. So twice the decarboxylation reaction. Option C is correct. Which of the following statement is incorrect? Option A, oxidation reduction reactions produce proton gradient in respiration. During aerobic respiration, the role of oxygen is limited to the terminal stage. This is correct one. In electron transport chain, one molecule of NADH gives 2 ATP and FADH2 gives 3 ATP. This is wrong one. One molecule of NADH gives 3 ATP. One molecule of FADH2 gives 2 ATP. ATP is synthesized through complex 5. This is correct one. option A is also correct. It is asked about incorrect. Sorry. Asked about incorrect one. So option C is incorrect. The number of substrate level phosphorylation in one turn of citric acid cycle. How many substrate level phosphorylations occurs in citric acid cycle? There is one phosphorylation, that is one formation of GTP in citric acid cycle or Krebs cycle. Next question. What is the role of NAD plus in cellular respiration? What is its role? It functions as an enzyme. It functions as an electron carrier. It is nucleotide source for ATP synthesis. It is a final electron acceptor for anaerobic respiration. NADP mainly acts as an electron carrier. Option B is correct. Next question. Which of these statement is incorrect? Enzymes of TCA cycle are present in mitochondrial matrix. Yes, in mitochondrial matrix, TCA cycle enzymes are present. Glycolysis occurs in cytosol. Yes, it is correct. Glycolysis operates as long as it is supplied with NAD that can pick up hydrogen atoms. Yes, it is also correct. As long as NAD is present, there is a glycolysis process continues. Oxidative phosphorylation takes place in outer mitochondrial membrane. No. Oxidative phosphorylation takes place in inner mitochondrial membrane. Inner mitochondrial membrane, not outer mitochondrial membrane. So option D is incorrect. Next question. Which statement is wrong for Krebs cycle? There is one point in the cycle where FAD is reduced to FADH. Yes, there is a one point. FADH2 is formed. During conversion of succinyl coenzyme A to succinic acid, a molecule of GTP is synthesized. Yes, it is correct. The cycle starts with condensation of acetyl group with pyruvic acid to yield citric acid. No, it is not correct. It is wrong one. Because acetyl coenzyme A, acetyl-CoA reacts with oxaloacetic acid. It is 2 carbon. This is 4 carbon to form citric acid. This is 6 carbon. It does not react with pyruvic acid, which is 3 carbon. There are 3 points in the cycle where NAD plus is reduced to NADH. This is also correct one. Next question. Oxidative phosphorylation. What is oxidative phosphorylation? Formation of ATP by transfer of phosphate group from substrate to ADP. Oxidation of phosphorylation group. Oxidation of phosphate group to ATP. Oxidation of phosphate group to ATP. Addition of phosphate to ATP. Formation of ATP by energy released from electrons removed during substrate oxidation. Yes, it is correct. Option D is correct. ATP is formed by the energy released from the electrons which obtained by oxidation of substrate. By oxidation of substrate, what is substrate here? Oxidation of glucose is substrate. By oxidation of glucose, we get electrons. From those electrons, movement ATP is formed. Next question. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe to my channel, more videos like this. Thank you so much.